Hey everyone, this podcast is part of Story Mode, the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. You can support us and gain access to other great exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman by heading over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hypecast mit Tom Reimann und David Bell.
Hello everyone.
Hello!
Welcome to another episode of Hypecast!
Hypecast!
It's the show where we get hyped about stuff and things. I'm your co-host, Tom Ryman.
I am your other co-host, David Bell.
And I'm Drew.
There!
Hey!
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Did it. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic. It's been a while since I was last on Hypecast, but I'm really hyped for it.
Oh, good.
Good.
I'm glad you're hyped
That's the
for
mood
it.
we're looking for, yeah. That is the exact mood.
Well, you picked the right person. I'm always extremely hyped.
Good.
Even during these crazy times, I'm extremely hyped for movies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, good.
It's really all we've got in these trying times.
Absolutely. I mean, I know this is going to probably come out a little bit later, but I'm still hyped for Halloween. I just bought a bunch of candy from the Ralphs. I bought like $200 worth of small candies that no child will get. That's just for me.
Nice.
I'm not going to lie, Drew. That's too much candy.
I know, Tom.
I disagree.
Well, that's listen.
Well, most of it will probably be saved till like November, like 3rd or 4th. I think around that area, and then we'll.
Okay.
Here's what
so
you do.
You're going to be nice and responsible with it.
Here's what you do. Mm-hmm. You get a pot,
yes.
Melt it all down,
Thank
make
you.
a super candy.
Yep.
Yeah, you make ultra candy.
That
Ultra
dentist who
candy.
just fixed 6 of my front teeth because I spend all my time biting into hard candy will not be upset at all.
No, okay, well, here's what you do. You melt it all down, you keep it warm.
Yes.
You take a straw, and you drink the super candy.
No, Dave, you read my mind.
Yeah, you circumvent the teeth completely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dentist is happy, everyone's happy.
Yeah.
Even a toothless person can enjoy candy soup.
And
Yeah.
down to the
Ultra
mom.
candy soup.
Yeah, a slurry of candy.
I love how the thickness. I can feel the coating on the back of my throat almost as we speak. It sounds delicious.
Delish.
Ugh.
Oh shit! I mean, it's basically just soda at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you mix it, you thin it out with the soda.
But can I ask you guys real quick? I mean, would you guys have like a favorite Halloween candy that you just like binge on? It's your
A Halloween candy specifically?
I mean, yeah, I'm saying specifically a Halloween candy.
Okay. Because my favorite candy is a Charleston Chew,
Oh my
but
God.
they don't give those out on Halloween.
They don't give this out anywhere.
You're an 85-year-old replicant.
They're they're delightful though. It's just hard marshmallow.
Yeah.
That's it.
I used to have a Werther's fetish, so that's I get it.
Mm-hmm.
What are you, Tom?
I'm not a huge candy person, but I'm gonna be lame and probably say Reese's, right?
Yeah,
Reese's
Reese's
Cups.
is the correct answer. Correct.
Yeah, well, if we're talking Halloween candy, I will also put my name in the Reese's hat.
Yeah, the mini cup. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Backed up right before we started recording. I was frantically digging around this fridge trying to find the Reese's cups, but I got a couple of Reese's pieces, like small things of them. So it kind of makes yeah.
I thought they were just like loose Reese's pieces.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I had a couple of them to each kid. See, they love it. They love it. They love loose candy.
I feel like
Oh,
I'm one of those people that you warn trick-or-treaters about, but I'm now just doing that to myself. Where I'm like, I don't know, this is kind of sus, but go for it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Just throw things at children in general.
Hell yeah. That we
Candy,
probably
mostly candy.
Yeah, you know.
They like playing marbles. You can throw marbles at
throw
children.
marbles at
Shuck
them.
'em. Yeah, chuck a small marble at a child once a night.
Yeah.
Keep
Light
that up.
bulbs. Kids love light bulbs.
Oh man, kids love light bulbs.
Ah, man, they have so much fun playing with their light bulbs in the street. I see all the neighborhood kids every day
Yeah.
Exactly.
playing kick the bulb.
Well, that's right.
I mean-
That's trick. That's not the treat. The treats are the loose Reese's.
In all seriousness, though, you take an 8-year-old me, you give him a bunch of light bulbs and say, you can do whatever with these. I'm going to have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smashing them on the concrete? That sounds great.
Yep. Chucking them at cars.
Yeah.
You pay it
sure
forward. You pay it forward.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's Halloween for you, and or any other day of my existence here.
If right. Oh man. We should probably let's name some of these producers, Dave. Let's get this done.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
we got some producers, folks, who through our Patreon have earned the right for their name to be bellowed out. So special thank you to Etch. Thank you, Etch. Thank you to Stephen. Quote, Robert Brockway was correct. It's Simons, not Simmons. End quote. Simons?
Good. I'm
Why
glad.
is there a
I'm,
question mark?
I'm glad you've created that hurdle for us to go through every week.
I didn't do that. That wasn't me. That was Stephen. Robert Brockway was correct. It's Simons, not Simmons. Simons who did that.
Technically, it's their parents that you have for this problem.
That's true. Thank you to Down Home Chicken. Peacock. Thank you to Julia Dorner. Thank you to Han Toomey, the confused cyborg. Thank you to Asking Seven. Thank you to Happy Ed. Thank you to The Guy with the Head. Thank you to I Was Born to Stare.
Woo! All right, let me swoop in here. Thank you to Tiger
Yeah.
George Pratt Thompson. Raindrops keep falling on my head. Not singing that.
Nope.
Thank you to Chloe Rice. Thanks to Dan
Chloe.
Hackroyd.
Thank you, Dan.
Thanks to the Kool-Aid Man says, fuck it, use me to make a huge Molotov and burn it all down, comrades.
Yeah.
Thanks to Guy with a Long Name.
Thank you.
Thanks to E.T. the Extravagant Terresticle.
Thank you.
Thank you to Cody Johnston's Time Machine Noise.
Always.
Thanks to Pete Vorpagel.
Thank you.
And thank you to Glitterous.
Glitterous.
All right.
All right.
Man, let's dive into these trailers. Let's go swimming in these trailers.
All right. And no better place to start than the trailer for Songbird. This is Michael Bay's pandemic film.
Michael Bay produced.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's close enough.
He's going to take the hits.
It's
He's
close
gonna
enough
take the
to Michael
hits.
Bay that we can blame him for this.
Yeah, this is...
Well, this is the movie that famously was the first to start filming again in post-pandemic. Well, not post-pandemic.
Oh, that's
Put it
true.
in
Because
LA.
I just thought they were just like really on point. I thought this is one of those things that maybe they just brushed it off and they just happen to be real on point about stuff.
No,
This is actually
they made
post-pandemic.
it. Oh yeah, it's about COVID. Like it's like it's COVID 22. Like it's mutated 4 years in the future.
It is and it isn't about COVID. This is like... I think, Tom, I saw you had put out an article and you described it as like a film for nobody. And yeah, nobody needs this movie.
Yeah, nobody wants this film.
It's an alarmist COVID movie.
Yeah, released while we're still in the middle of the pandemic.
My theory is that someone wrote like a zombie script.
Yep.
And they hastily rewrote it.
That's exactly what I thought. I just assumed what they did was in post-production decided to be like, okay, so now it's called COVID-23. That's what we're doing here. We're not actually writing a script that it happened to be during. I mean, that's dark. Knowing that's so much darker to know these people decided to make this story about what a delivery guy it looks like.
Yeah, he's a courier. Don't know why he still has a job in the pandemic.
Well, he's
DoorDash
immune.
guy.
He said he's immune.
He's immune, but you can be immune to a disease and still be a dirty carrier. Like you can you can be just lousy with the virus.
Right. Well, that's okay. This is the issue. I think the main issue with this movie is that it is extremely unrealistic.
Yeah.
And everybody knows it because they're living it. Right?
Yeah.
Where they're like, the COVID, everything's falling apart. And you just have to like look outside and be like, no, it didn't. Like it's like making a movie about 9/11, like the year of 9/11, and like changing what happened on 9/11. And then everybody's like, well, we just saw it happen.
Right. It's
Yeah,
Quentin,
like
Quentin
Tarantino.
Tarantino's. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so they're...
I mean, there's a lot to be worried about here. First of all, there is not that many masks throughout the entire trailer. We're talking about, like,
yeah.
this is okay. I'm like, there's a hazmat suit, or so, there's a Peter Stormare. There's kissing. There just seems to be a lot of. This is about COVID. It's not about safe practicing.
No,
I can understand how this reality people have not survived this yet.
There is extremely Peter Stormare in this movie. He is as Peter Stormare as you would expect in this trailer.
I'll be honest, I thought this was an Until Dawn sequel until I started rewatching it all the way through.
Right. It fucking...
It's got quite a supporting cast, but like, goddamn, the last thing I want to watch right now is a thriller about the pandemic. Especially like a stupid alarmist one like this.
Right. That's what I was gonna... It also doesn't mean anything. It doesn't seem to be saying anything. It's just, but what if it was like this?
But here's my thing.
And it's like,
I don't mean to be.
okay.
I don't mean to be a jerk about this, but like again, we're watching people kiss. We're watching people stay in close quarters. This doesn't seem to be one of those like let's do the movie thing where we're all like filming off of Zoom. I'm just assuming during COVID they were just like, okay, now we're just gonna pretend like it's not happening so we can act like it is happening.
Oh,
yeah.
The production, in addition to making headlines for being the first to start filming in pandemic Los Angeles, got shut down.
No.
Because somebody caught the COVID.
Right.
No.
Everything about this is repellent.
This is a cursed movie. I'm pretty sure if you watch this, you have a week left to live.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
The virus is going to call us on the phone.
Yeah.
No, Peter Stormare calls you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be worth it. But no, I mean, like, that absolutely, this is just irresponsible. I mean, this is one of those times where it's like, yeah, filmmaking has a higher duty. I don't want to be this person, but filmmaking does have a higher duty to, like, the people, to its audience than to promote, like, fear-mongering and then also make itself, like, an unsafe working conditions. Like, people are going to watch this and be like, well, they did it.
That's classic Michael Bay. Like,
This-
Michael Bay making a movie that he doesn't respect the audience, and he certainly doesn't respect the process of filmmaking.
This movie is a grift. It's an absolute grift. It's an obvious one, and it's just like, it's just a bummer. It's just a real bummer, this trailer. I put it at the top of this because I knew nobody was going to like it.
It also just dropped today, I think, as we record this.
I'm almost starting to think, okay, is there a silver lining? Like, my brain's trying to work overtime, like, kicking to high. Is there a silver lining? Is there a silver lining? Maybe the silver lining is that, like, Michael Bay has to make a Netflix movie? Is that it? Is that the silver lining?
Yeah.
That he has to make this a Netflix movie?
I think the silver lining is that Peter Stormare got some money.
Yeah.
And like, I think he filmed all his stuff
outside the
solo.
door. Yeah, that looks like he's filmed everything from outside the door, which, by the way, as a concept, that would have just been cool. Have this whole movie take place, if it had been another director, an Amy Steinmetz almost, if you will, someone who could just record this from like an entire movie from the perspective of someone who's scared and locked in their own home.
That would be dope, actually.
Right?
Well,
and then everyone else is outside and knocking on the door.
I would have loved to see a movie that was all like on Zoom, like some of these horror movies that's come out, but directed by Michael Bay, because I guarantee that process would give him a brain aneurysm where like he couldn't do any action. He'd have to rely on dialogue.
Oh, God.
It would be a nightmare.
Yeah. First of all, just a technical question, how'd they get the streets all cleaned up? Like, there's nobody on the streets in these shots.
I think it's all CG, right? I think they gave Michael Bay a lot of money to CG. In fact, maybe a lot of actors who look like they were in the same room never were.
I think so?
I don't think so because it's Michael Bay. I'm just saying that it's possible. I know there's a lot of like articles about TV and stuff, the way they're shooting with like dummies and stuff, and they're finding ways to separate actors while making it seem like they are.
Yeah, it does seem like they're keeping... Well, it does seem like they're keeping a lot of them relatively separate. Like, it's clear Demi Moore and Bradley Whitford are together.
Right.
And the main woman, she's alone in her apartment. And Peter Stormare's.
I'm sorry. Collins? Is it Lily Collins? I couldn't tell.
No. Oh crap! What's her name? Sophia something is the actress's name.
I do guarantee that if any of them had said yes, Michael Bay would put them all together without a second thought. I'm imagining the actors just being like, "No, I'm not going to do that."
I mean, it's weird that it's in 2020, but the moment I see a kiss now on screen and know that this is being filmed after the pandemic, my first instinct is to recoil. I'm like, ew, gross.
Right.
Ew. Yeah, don't do that.
Ew,
don't
gross.
do that.
Don't no.
Don't do that.
Don't swap your spit. It's the worst idea. Kissing has become icky.
Yeah. This is on Amazon?
Netflix.
Okay. So there's no we can I assume people won't I'm not going to watch this. But part of me wishes it came to theaters so everybody could very directly not watch it, because I don't think anybody's going to want to watch this movie, right?
I mean, I don't know. It's probably what probably happened was it started to be the pandemic, and he saw that everyone was watching Contagion and was like, "Oh, I've got an idea for a Contagion. It's really bad. It's got none of the subtleties or nuances of Contagion, but maybe we can get someone's head being cut off at some point." So
yeah.
But if you're in a Michael Bay movie, you're pretty much used to working against nothing. Transformers is just Shia LaBeouf talking to a giant tennis ball. So I feel like these people are pretty well equipped to film scenes alone.
I'm trying to think of a way to punish Michael Bay.
Yeah, no, that sounds right.
Yeah, the director, I guess he also should be punished, whoever he is.
I think it's a 2-person directing team. I'm not positive.
Let's see. Songbird. Adam Mason.
Never mind.
Yeah, he wrote it with someone else.
Ah, okay.
And maybe, he's got some music videos under his belt. If Michael Bay was like, "Hey, I'll produce this movie, change it into Pandemic," any aspiring filmmaker is going to be like, "Oh, sure." So, I mean, sure, yeah, but I don't know. My point is that Michael Bay needs to be punished for this.
Can we talk about the plot again for 1 second? Because maybe I missed some of it. How far in the future are we in this? Because it's only COVID-23, right?
4 years.
I just looked it up.
4 years.
According to the IMDb, it's 2022.
Oh, I thought, man, the PR materials I got said 4 years.
Maybe I kind of feel like they might have changed that because they're like, wait, in 1 year, everything falls apart.
I mean, I can see how we're getting there. I mean, I guess my illusion question is this a Trump world? Is there a president? This is I guess what I mean by they're not saying anything is because that was also my question is well, what happened with the election? Are they going to talk about it? Is this a cautionary tale? Mm-hmm. Are they trying to say anything with this movie? And from what I can tell, no.
No, absolutely not.
They're just, getting in on this grift while they can.
I cannot remember, is Michael Bay a Republican? Again, I don't mean to sidetrack the conversation or make this about something else, but I feel like I would know the better.
Yeah, he's an extremely wealthy white man, middle-aged, I would assume, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
This is what happens after the Biden presidency.
Hold on. I'll Google. Oh, this is going to be a hard Google.
Let's just move on.
Yeah. Sorry to have brought that up, guys. Moving on.
Let's not do this.
Oh, wait. No, I can give you an answer in the title of fucking 13 Hours, his Benghazi film.
Yeah, his fucking Benghazi movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right. So, yeah.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
All right. Let's move on.
Let's move on from the movie Songbird.
Yes.
Into
leave it behind us.
Yeah, a brighter future. This is the trailer for Stardust.
Mm-hmm. A brighter past, almost.
Yeah. This is a David Bowie. It's not the fantasy movie Stardust.
Mm-hmm.
No,
which confused me.
Yeah, this is David Bowie inventing Ziggy Stardust.
He's coming to America in, I guess, 71. He's trying to. It's specifically to promote The Man Who Sold the World.
I just looked up the director, and I'm kind of excited.
Who is it?
You probably don't recognize. It's Gabriel Range, but they directed a fake documentary that I saw that was really interesting called Death of a President. It was made in 2006, and it was a fake documentary about the assassination of George Bush, made while he was president.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, and it's a really interesting idea for a documentary because it's actually, I don't want to spoil it, but it's actually about Islamophobia at the time. It's not poor Bush. It's about the reaction that happens. And so it's a really interesting idea. I haven't seen it in a very long time, so I can't say whether or not it's like an amazing film, but I remember it being a really cool idea.
That sounds like it. First of all, incredible. Second of all, has he done anything since? Like this is
a couple TV movies I never saw, an actual documentary, a movie called I Am Slave, which I haven't seen.
The I Am Legend sequel.
Yeah, right. No, this is this looks interesting though. It seems like a lot of very important subjects, and then David Bowie,
and then the David Bowie movie, which
they also wrote and directed.
Also important.
Yeah.
So I want to say that I'm not sure if anything will ever top my number one David Bowie documentary, which isn't even a documentary about David Bowie. It's like a fake documentary because he couldn't get the life rights, but that's Velvet Goldmine. And that's such the best. I watched that 2 weeks ago. It's like my dad's favorite film. It's one of my top. It's definitely in my top 20 favorite films of all time.
It's Ewan McGregor and Christian Bale.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, oh yeah.
Yeah, and the music is killer. The music is just perfect. Everything about that movie is absolutely stellar. And then I was reading, this isn't going to have any of the music, is it?
Oh, it's not?
I don't think it's going to have any of the performances or something. But Tom, you probably know.
Actually, I don't. I was just going to say that's a really good question.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere that it's not going to have any of the music. They couldn't get the rights or something. Which I probably understand. Probably his son, who's also a filmmaker, wants to do the eventual documentary.
Oh yeah, Zoe Bowie.
Zoe Bowie, Duncan
making
Jones.
Movies.
Yeah, Duncan Jones probably wants to do that eventually, I'm assuming. So I don't think they could have gotten the music rights. I think that was also the problem with Velvet Goldmine. So this is going to be one of those documentaries that doesn't involve the music at all. I would double check my source on that, but
yeah, that would be cool if it was a choice. I think that would be really cool if it was a bold choice that a movie made about the subject of a singer. Probably not a choice if it's not in this, though.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people are just saying nope to... I'm just Googling real quick to see if I can find the link about the article that I was reading, but a lot of people are just saying nope to this documentary. I think the documentary trailer looked cool. I mean, to the trailer. I think the trailer looked cool.
Yeah.
Mark Maron, right?
That is Mark Maron, as his agent.
That's very funny.
Or his publicist, rather, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think it was, and watching the trailer, I was just like, look at this Mark Maron-looking motherfucker. Turns out it's actually just Mark Maron.
That's just Mark Maron, only it's Mark Maron, only he's shaved.
Yeah, exactly, which is...
So it's Mark Maron looking like Mark Maron looked in the 90s.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a glow. It looks like, it just feels like Mark Maron is supposed to be like a Time Lord who's just skipping around from actual Mark Maron reality to Glow to now Bowie.
Yes.
To Joker.
Yeah.
It's always the same dude.
He's been the same dude since I remember watching a stand-up, him do stand-up on Comedy Central's show Two Drink Minimum in 1993. And he still looked basically the fucking same.
Yeah, I mean, he's just the same dude. I mean, I don't know what your guys' opinion is. My feelings on biopics, especially music biopics, is it's basically Walk Hard got it all right, and then we shouldn't be doing those tropes.
Right, they tend to hit all the same beats. Yeah. They do, even though I really liked Rocket Man, because I thought it was interesting that they did it as sort of like a fantasy movie.
Yeah, as part of a musical. They did that as a musical.
Yeah.
Well... I've gone on record saying that I hate biopics because they build a story backwards.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we need to make a movie about this person, and then they have to look for a movie in their life.
Oh god.
And lives are kind of boring sometimes. You know, like these, like I think the biopics I like is when they're like, this person is worth telling a story about, not because of like their fame, but because of what they did.
Right.
And now we're going to tell a story about that thing. You know, like even if those are embellished stuff, like I love like The Imitation Game and shit like that.
Yeah, well, I think it's like, you know, that Rachel Bloom has a line, I think, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, probably the first time this name has been brought up on the show in a while, but she has a line that's, life doesn't make narrative sense, and it just doesn't. I mean, if you guys saw the Chadwick Boseman Get On Up movie, that movie was, he was incredible in it. It's about, who's it about? The singer. It's not Rick James. Who is it? I'm trying to remember who it is. But the whole movie is just from beginning to end. Like,
James Brown.
James Brown. I like woke
I was
up 2 hours
really
ago.
enjoying this moment of not being able to figure it out.
I'm like, yeah, thank you, Tom, for saving me from that. I woke up a couple hours ago, folks. But no, like that movie just made like no narrative sense. Like it just jumped from thing to thing to thing, and I almost want to give it credit for that because it's kind of a hot mess of a movie. But I almost want to give it like some credit for just like not trying to make him into a good guy or a bad guy. Right. He was just like a kind of crazy guy that was like jumping around in time to different like moments in his life, and I kind of respected that as a form.
Yeah, because they have to find the interesting shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess, you know, it's not a good movie, but we had a podcast about this. I'm more and more understanding the film Glitter. Because like Mariah Carey is like, I'm not going to make an exact biopic. I'm going to add shit that makes it more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have a boyfriend named Dice.
Fucking Dice.
Who gets shot in the heart. Yeah, like
yes.
And like we can't do that when it's someone else making the film about the artist. But like I haven't seen Rocketman, but that sounds like what they did. They're like, let's throw a bunch of fun shit in there. Like you gotta do something different. I think when it's like Walk the Line, I'm just like, oh fucking who cares?
Yeah,
I guess you grew up really poor, and a sibling died, and then like this happened, and like the beats are so The beats are so well worn that even with that, because I've never even like seen all of Walk Hard, I just know that it hits all those beats because like enough people have told me, and because it's just like it just was hitting all those beats.
It's a fucking incredible movie.
Yeah.
This one looks fine. I mean, I did double check what you were saying, Drew, and yes, in fact, his estate did not approve the use of any of his music. So instead, they just show Bowie performing covers that he did during this time period, which is going to be really strange. Because it's a movie about like nobody recognizing this genius that's sitting right in front of them, but we're not actually getting to hear his genius music. So it's like,
oh
yeah.
Why don't they have the guts to make it like his hit song like Space Weird, and he's talking about like ground control to Major Tim, and they just do like off-brand versions of all his songs.
It's like
that's
Jackie
what I want
from like the 30 Rock.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I forgot about that. Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
More of that.
I
More
love
of that.
I hope there's at least like 20 to 25. I think I'm being conservative here. My estimate, 20 to 25 references of like something like that, where it's like something that's pretty close. It's like, you ever think of making it ground control to Major Time? Something like that.
Yeah, they gotta get as close. They should just have a team of lawyers on set at all time, figure out how close they can get.
Now who is this actor? I've never seen him before, I don't think. He's playing Bowie.
Johnny Flynn.
Yeah.
That sounds like a made-up name. Yeah.
Who is he running from, Johnny?
Yeah. He was in a bunch of movies.
Okay, never mind then.
That I haven't seen. Where is he from? This feels British. Yes.
Well, we would hope. One would hope.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably watch this. Just because I like David Bowie, not because I like biopics.
Yeah, I want to.
But you're right. I kind of want to just watch Velvet Goldmine now that you bring it up. And like Hunger, maybe just shit with David Bowie in it.
Yeah, Labyrinth. Hell, you just do Labyrinth.
Yeah.
I'm getting from his silence that Tom has not seen Velvet Goldmine or does not approve of it.
No, I actually haven't seen it.
Yeah, I think you'd really like it. It's really good.
Tom, have you seen The Hunger?
No.
It's David Bowie as a vampire with Susan Sarandon.
I'm aware of it.
Yeah, the biggest thing about it, directed by Tony Scott, which is like the weirdest fucking part about that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it was based on a novel by fucking Whitley Strieber.
Which one? Velvet Goldmine?
No, Hunger.
No, that was
The Hunger.
Whitley Strieber is the guy that famously wrote the novel Communion, supposedly detailing his own alien abduction.
No.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
wow.
Christopher Walken played him in the movie.
Oh, that crazy Christopher Walken alien abduction movie with the owls, like that weird owl. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's Communion. Yeah, that's the fucking dude that wrote Hunger.
Oh my gosh. Yikes. Well, I can show you how adapted work can be put in two separate hands. I would say Tony Scott did a really good job with Hunger. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody check out The Hunger.
Hunger, yeah.
All right, next trailer. Saved by the Bell. There's another trailer for this.
So,
thing.
is this a movie?
No,
Or
it's a show.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. So I was confused. I'd seen the trailer the night before and I got it on here for Hypecast. I was like, oh man, maybe I have to readjust my expectations. Because if it was a movie, then I think he's the bad guy. Our protagonist here, our Zach is the bad guy in the film.
Well, I don't think he's the protagonist. The protagonist appears to be the girl because she's the one talking directly to the camera.
Yes.
Right. But I'm just getting the sense that he's going to show up, and if it's a TV show, fine, then they can give him a change of heart. But like Zack Attack here is not going to be our hero.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, it's speaking of adjusting your expectations or whatever. I actually enjoyed this trailer way more than I enjoyed the first one we saw of this show.
Okay, I said I was excited for it last time because it's the 30 Rock writer. Mm-hmm. So, and it seems like, yes, it's the ironic, we're going to be self-aware, but I don't know. What else are they going to do?
Right. It seems to be kind of, it's self-aware. I think it's like self-aware in the not another teen movie way. Yeah.
Also, he's playing that, the Zach son is named Mac Morris.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, I think what's very obvious, and maybe you guys have addressed before, there's one notable absence from this movie. And, like, where is Screech?
Screech is dead in a dumpster somewhere.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Yeah, I think they have disavowed Screech.
What did
Screech went
do?
down like the internet red pill rabbit hole.
Oh,
yeah. They never saw him again.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, that's the first good sign then about this movie is the lack of Screech, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe they're going to do that thing that they did at the Fuller house where they just kind of like, mug to the camera and be like, turned out to be crazy.
Right. And that's the thing is like, I think this is why I'm like optimistic about this is because like Fuller House, mm-hmm. It lasted, 2 seasons before everybody remembered that Full House sucks?
Yeah.
And that's the thing about these weird reboots is they were just like, we're going to do it again. And, like, not really ironically. And then you watch it and you're like, oh, right. This isn't good. I'm not a child anymore.
Right.
Yeah. And so it's like they know when they're making this, they're like, we can't really make it for teens, right? Because why would they watch this? Like, they have their own stuff to watch. We have to make it for sad adults who remember Saved by the Bell and make it funny for them. Right. I think the Animaniacs trailer felt the same thing, too, for the reboot, where they're like, we know we're going to be watched by adults. Right. We can't be adult humor because we still want to rope in proper aged people, but we know who our audience is going to be, and it's going to be a weird fucking mix of weirdos.
Yeah. I came across this issue recently because I was trying to watch Pixar's The Good Dinosaur, like the forgotten Pixar movie. From
right.
like 2000, I think it's like 2005, 2006, somewhere around there. And it's a pretty good movie, but it's one of these weird movies where I can see why it didn't take off because it's very clearly for children. Like, it doesn't have any of that Pixar thing, which is like this is a kids movie, but it's really like a lot of it's marketed towards adults and like getting adults to feel things that they should normally feel, or like tapping into that kind of stuff. Toy Story and Inside Out, like they're made for like adults to get the references and adults to cry and for like a cathartic adult experience. And I feel like that's what too many of these reboots have tried to do, is try to make it like the Good Dinosaur version of these beloved IPs from like adults, and like adults don't want to watch kids shows. They want to watch the Pixar version.
It's and kids don't want to watch this shit either because it's referencing a time in which they didn't exist.
Yeah.
And so they can't relate.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I could watch Happy Days. Like I was just like, I don't understand.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The most I could watch is the Weezer music video, and I was like, "That's cool."
That's pretty sweet.
Never watched the show, but that music video is awesome.
Yeah, it was. It was very cool.
They didn't use any CGI. That's the thing that boggled my mind about that video. It's all lookalikes and like editing.
Yeah,
it's if you watch it again, it's really tricky. It's really well done.
Oh wow,
it's a very impressive music video.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's Spike Jones.
I think I knew that at one period of time, and I forgot it somehow.
Oh, yeah. Any more thoughts about Saved by the Bell?
I mean, I do think that adding in this, racial factor to it is probably necessary. Like, that's a good sign that the show's playing it right up front. This is, what the Baysides become, and probably always has been. And we're just going to address it now. That feels like timely and relevant, and probably the best way to go about dealing with this.
Tom, you pointed out that the main character is that girl.
It appears to be.
And the one hit against this trailer is they don't advertise it like she is. And like you said, she's the one with the Zack superpower. So you can only assume. And she, this trailer makes her out to be like a side character.
Yeah, I get it.
In fact,
it's focusing on the old cast, like Mario Lopez and stuff.
Yeah. In fact, I'm not even sure who it might be more of an ensemble, to be honest, which I guess is what Saved by the Bell is. Right?
But I don't think Saved by the Bell has such a focus. That's going to be interesting. It's going to be like Saved by the Bell, but imagine now that you watch Saved by the Bell, but you are a teacher. You've become an administrator. Yeah. That's sort of the vibe of this.
I guess, was Zach Morris the main, did we follow him every episode?
Not every episode. I feel originally in the original show that took place in not even Bayside, but their other school. Yeah, he was the main character and he was the main thrust, and Mario Lopez was the bad guy almost, and originally. Okay. But then I think by the time you hit the college years, definitely not. Then it's spread off, and he doesn't even do those asides to the camera anymore.
I guess in terms of narrative, I thought of it as Zach is the Picard. Mm-hmm. Slater's the Riker, and they all get their own episodes, their own adventures, but there's a sort of pecking order within them. By the way, Zach only shows up in 3 episodes of this new one.
Yep. Yeah. That's my thought here, is that he's definitely not John Paul Gossier, and that's not right. That's the other guy.
Mark Paul Gosselaar.
Mark Paul Gossier.
John Paul Gaultier.
I was thinking of the Nazi who's designed for Dior. I think that he definitely has the vibe here that he's not going to come in as the good guy who's here to save the town. He seems like he's gotten really rich, or he's a senator. Is that it?
Yeah,
he's a senator. His kids kind of seems like a dick. I mean, they just seem like they're not going to be the heroes of this story, which I don't necessarily mind.
No. Yeah.
No, I'm not against that either.
Time has moved on. Has proven Zach not to be the hero of his own story.
All right, well, let's talk about the next one, The White Tiger.
This I loved.
Yeah, this started out. It's about a servant class in India, and this started out seeming like it was going to be kind of like a dramedy, and boy, does it take a turn.
No, yeah.
Yeah, wow. I actually went back and watched the trailer twice because I was it took such a hard left, right there in the middle of it, that I was whoop. Wait, what? And I wanted to rewatch the trailer, being the guy didn't seem that bad. Oh, okay. No, he's hitting.
He sucks. Yeah, he's slapping him. Yeah.
This is is the idea that he's sort of rising the ranks. It feels kind of Goodfellas-y. He's not turning to legal means.
No.
It seems like. Yeah.
No, definitely not legal means. I'm not sure if it's like it doesn't seem Goodfellas-y because I don't think it's like a celebration of like this.
Yeah.
You know?
The Goodfellas is a bad comparison. I guess like almost Scarface, where it's like it's someone's rise in the only way they can in their position.
Yeah, which by the way, it's going to be fascinating because I don't even know what kind of crime syndicate. Like I don't know what that looks like in India. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not that caught up in history or geopolitics, but I didn't know that there was still a serving class in India that kind of works like a master sort of scenario. That's horrifying.
Yeah,
Wow.
that fucked me right up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, there's still parts of, and that part where the woman's like, that can't be what you want to do. What do you want to do with your life? And he's like, I want to serve. It's just like, no, stop it. I'm like, that's whoa. Whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is from the director of the Fahrenheit 451 remake no one saw. I kind of want to see that now. And a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
That Fahrenheit remake was supposed to be, you mean the Michael Shannon one that was on HBO?
Yeah, Michael Shannon and Michael B. Jordan.
I feel like that was not supposed to be good.
Michael Shannon's in that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Michael B. Jordan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course I'm going to watch
Yeah,
that.
Shannon's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was not supposed to be great, though.
He's certainly...
I'll give you a heads
Yeah.
up. Didn't get great reviews.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Fahrenheit 451, I remember that story being a little silly.
It is.
A
It
little
is
dated.
It's extremely dated.
Yeah.
It's like the no books one, right? No books.
No
okay.
books.
Well, they got that right.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, people should check out the trailer for this. It's going on Netflix. It looks real good.
The part where he's like, he does a couple of those. There's two type of men in the world kind of analogies over the course of this trailer. But then he gives one line that's sort of like, this is the time of the brown man and the yellow man, and everyone else can just, I forget the rest of the line. It was like, everyone else can just fuck off, or something like that. It was just a really good line that I just completely half remembered. But yeah, I got goosebumps during that part of the trailer. Just
Also, shots fired to Slumdog Billionaire.
Yes.
So that you're not going to get on a game show and win like $1 million rupees to get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really fascinated, though, because it doesn't give you enough information to figure out what life he gets in, what kind of crime he gets into, how he's planning to make it out, if there isn't even like a way to climb the ranks, like in this way. I'm assuming there's no respectable way to climb the ranks.
I don't know.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Like you, I'm not as familiar with this culture. They could be lying. This movie could just be a lie. Like I don't know. I'm gonna have to take their word for it. Until this moment, I thought, yeah, everybody in India gets a game show where they, and now I'm being told that's a lie. So I don't know what to believe.
I mean, I can only draw on other stereotypes that like movies have, like gross stereotypes that movies have used in the past about a Indian manservant kind of scenario.
Right.
Like
India gets they just get piled on with stereotypes in media. Like it's
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to this movie to educate me, I guess. So that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward. It looks cool.
Yeah,
it looks intense. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, this next trailer is for The Midnight Sky, directed by George Clooney.
Mm-hmm.
I believed at first when they read off like who this was based on. I believed it was based on the Goodnight Moon books, and I was like, "Whoa, they took this to a dark and gritty direction."
The gritty reboot of
Yeah.
Goodnight Moon.
I 100% thought this was.
Oh, I want to live in a world where you're correct about that.
Like it's sure
This
just
is-
going around just being like, "Good night, moon. Good night."
You're not far. The book it's based on is called Good Morning Midnight. So
Wasn't
this was a real like fine kind of trailer where
Yeah,
it's like
it's-
is this on Netflix?
it's
where
Netflix.
it's like
yeah.
it's like when I saw the trailer for Away and I was like, yeah, of course I'll watch it. I'm not gonna be happy about it, but I'll watch your fucking space movie, George Clooney.
It was funny. I had to cover the pre-trailer of this. They had like a brief 30-second trailer announcing that the full trailer was coming the next day because media is broken like that.
Right.
Gosh. Oh my gosh.
and like trying to like it was so unclear what it was about, and like nothing on the internet was of much help. And then seeing this full trailer, it's like I still am not entirely sure what it's about.
I think it's okay. The world has
ended.
Apart.
Yeah, the world has ended.
We sent people to space to find a new world, and I'm guessing that their plan somehow involves them coming back, or like I don't know why George Clooney needs to
exactly. That's the
warn them.
The ticking clock is that George Clooney has to warn them not to come back, but like why?
Yeah.
But also they're like super far out there.
Yeah.
So I think he has to tell them like. It's like the movie Sunshine.
Yeah.
It feels like where like where like the hope is Earth has to tell the spaceship, don't bother coming back. Find a planet and just fuck as much as you can, because there's nothing. But like that's not hopeful. I assume there's more to it. And then he has this little kid who's not talking. She's just like silently watching him panic.
Shit.
Yeah. And I hope she doesn't say a fucking word the whole time. Yeah, and again, I'll watch it.
Yeah,
because I
like to think about this as the Tomorrowland sort of sequel, the Dark Gritty. I don't know why
the Gritty Tomorrowland.
I don't
sequel.
know why everything needs to be like a dark gritty.
I don't know.
Yeah, but that's my world. So
I'll watch. Yeah, I'll just. George Clooney and his directing.
Yeah,
I watched the Ides of March yesterday.
He grew.
I felt nothing, but I enjoyed it.
He grew a big fuck off beard for this.
Yeah,
like we can just.
Yeah, he's
we can
putting
just
in a lot of work.
He's doing like an Oscar
beard.
Isaac look. He's doing like an Ex Machina Oscar Isaac kind of thing. He's got the hair's short, right? And yeah.
It's a very similar look. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's George Clooney. He's just always been there for us. For every like 3 shitty films he makes like 2 good ones.
He also did
and so
Texas
it's
The
like,
Dangerous Mind, remember?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like his directing. I like Good Night and Good Luck. I didn't see The Monuments Men because
yeah, that and Suburbicon got some pretty shitty reviews. But
he's all right. He's a delightfully mediocre director, and I like that. The Ides of March is like a political thriller straight out of the 90s.
Well, it was written by Bo Willimon, the guy who created House of Cards.
Really?
Yes. I know that.
No shit.
We used to be pretty good friends back in New York, so like, yeah, I've never seen the movie because I didn't want to have an opinion on it in case I did not like it. But
I think, well, if you like 90s political thrillers, it's fucking perfect. Like that's what I mean, is that I don't mean like mediocre as in bad. I mean as like it's starting from a subject matter that isn't going to change the world.
It was
that was
based on a play he did with Chris Noth. So that was like where that started. Yeah, which I think probably changed the context of it a little bit. Like if you like Chris Noth play.
Yeah, you're making a political scandal movie, and that's what you get. And it's like, good fucking job. That's what it's like Sorkin without being overwhelmingly irritating. It's just like, yeah, I love a good political thriller, and the Ides of March fills that hole. And so I think George Clooney's directing is sort of that, where it's like he'll ape styles a lot, but generally speaking, there's nothing like particularly bold about how he directs or the movies he makes.
Yeah, he takes a lot of chances.
Yeah, and that's fine. Again, that's why I watched all of Away, the Hilary Swank Mars show, because it was safe. And we're in the middle of a pandemic, and it's like, yeah, I just want to sit and watch something that's not going to challenge me, that's going to be entertaining. And so, yeah, I'm excited. I'm hoping The Midnight Sky will do that. Just be a nice...
I mean, concur. Like, I hope so, but I don't know. Space stuff freaks me out.
Sure. Well, you can't breathe up there. So
yeah, it's all freaky and weird
difficult.
up there. I don't like it.
It's got some problems.
Not for me. Not for me.
No. You wouldn't go to space?
No, hell no. That
Drew,
that ship
would you
has
go
sailed.
to space?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Anything that I couldn't watch Gravity. I can't watch anything about space or under the sea, apparently. So,
I do not want to go in the ocean, but I do space.
I don't know. I think I can do. Actually, I can. Like in reality, I can go under the ocean. Like I wanted to get my scuba certification at one point. Like I like under the ocean.
Okay.
There's animals under there that you play, you frolic. There's like I don't have a fear of Cthulhu. It's just like it's just like the vast darkness of it all underneath or above.
Yeah, it doesn't want us.
It doesn't want us. Gravity was one of those movies that like my mom wanted to bring me to because she likes having panic attacks. She thinks they like
Sure.
My mom always has a line like anxiety's like underrated. Like my mom truly does believe that anxiety is like the best emotion to propel you through life because it gets stuff done. And so she wanted to see like Gravity in like IMAX and like cry during it. And like I don't know, I just kind of have an aversion towards that counter programming.
What you do, you put it on around like April, and then you do your taxes right after.
Because you're like, that's the Linda Grant method.
Like, yeah. No, I don't know. I'd die in space. I could die in space. I don't want to drown. But I would die in space
for sure.
Yeah,
easily.
I read too much
if I go to space, I'll probably die in space because if I'm going into space, that means something has gone really wrong.
Yeah, I remember I was looking for reasons earlier today. I was reading up on the time that Lance Bass almost went to space.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And his trip was canceled because he lost like all of his sponsors backed out. So they couldn't pay for it anymore. And one of the reasons a lot of his sponsors backed out was because they didn't want their brand to be associated with the trip if he died in space.
Right.
Oh, that's way better than what I was thinking was going to be the reason. But that's really, yeah. I mean, I understand that.
Yeah. You've heard the extremely dark factoid that the shuttle Challenger, when they were thinking of what civilian to bring on, the one of the main contenders was Big Bird. Yeah. Big Bird was going to be on the Challenger.
Wait.
And look, I'm not happy with anybody being on the Challenger. I'm going on record with that. But imagine Big Bird.
All those kids had tuned in.
What does that even mean on a practical level? How is Big Bird, who's not a real person, going to be on the Challenger? You mean like somebody in a Big Bird suit? Or like
I believe this was
been a person.
Yeah, I believe this was probably the reason why Big Bird never went on. I mean, you go to history.com has an article about Big Bird on the Challenger. It was going to be the puppet. Okay, I don't think Big Bird. Okay, here's what I'm seeing is that I don't think they would have walked onto the shuttle dressed as Big Bird. I think it was just the puppeteer who Carol Spiney, who, boy, what a hippie. Just looking at a picture. But yeah, I think that would have been
oh man. That's dark. So wait, so they wouldn't have even shown up as Big Bird. So like America, like its children wouldn't like be like, at least they wouldn't be traumatized into the image of Big Bird dying.
Sesame Street could presumably just keep their mouth shut and just get a new person to play Big Bird.
Would they have taken the suit so just in case, like, you know, once you're in space, you can change into the Big Bird suit? Was that maybe it? I'm just trying to think of why you would bring a puppeteer to space.
See, I think, like Dave said, I think all these questions you're bringing up are probably why Big Bird ultimately didn't go on the challenge.
No, yeah, holy shit. He says, I got a letter from NASA. Join a mission orbit to Earth as Big Bird.
Yeah, that's what I'm
to encourage kids to get interested in space. NASA was absolutely gonna put that fucking suit on this guy and be like, all right,
as he's orbiting
get in
Earth.
this ship. Yeah. Good God.
Oh my God. I'm so wanting to see that movie. Can we watch that movie instead? Can someone make that movie about the time that Big Bird was almost on the
Challenger?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I imagine it's mostly just a man watching the news and shitting himself and being like, Jesus.
It's like
best no I ever gave.
Is that Gary Sinise or Kevin Bacon in Apollo?
Gary Sinise.
Yeah.
That's
the movie we just watched.
Yeah. I think this is the last space thing I'll say, and then we'll move on.
Okay.
I remember Richard Nixon. Was it Nixon? Yeah, it was Nixon.
It's your memory.
Had a speech prepared in case the astronauts died on Apollo 11, and I believe in case they found aliens.
Oh yeah, well you gotta have a speech
Like,
for
I'm
everything.
pretty
right?
sure I read that he had a speech prepared
Is
in
that
case they
unlocked?
found aliens.
Do you think every president has a speech for in case we find aliens?
Oh yeah,
I think it was possibly, but he specifically because the Apollo 11 mission was while he was president. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, I hope every president has a speech prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
I don't think they have to be asked to prepare that speech. I think if you become president, you're like, yeah, I got the speech right here, because it's like the coolest thing a president could do.
Right. You're just cribbing those notes from Bill Pullman.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I have more to say about space,
Me
but
too.
I feel like we should move on.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll save it for our space podcast.
Yeah, Spacecast.
Spacecast. Next and final trailer: Toys of Terror.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
So what's going on here is, I don't know, who got, what dug into the budget here, but this looks like some of the worst, and I love horror movies. I'll watch every terrible horror movie that comes out. That's my bread and butter. I think people that save, doing scary movies for the month of October to be amateur hour, much the way that, an alcoholic, seeing people run around on St. Patrick's Day or New Year's Eve would be amateur hour. What are you doing the rest of the time? This movie looks egregiously, kind of unwatchable. The special effects look terrible in this
I have a counterpoint.
Okay.
It's written by Dana Gould.
Okay, well then, let me...
Well, now I'm watching it. Now I have to watch it.
Now I understand where the budget went. That sounds incredible. Wait, really?
Wait, you think Dana Gould ate up the budget?
Yeah. Now I understand where, why the puppet
he's
looks...
great, but...
Maybe I'll have to rewatch the channel. Maybe what I'm seeing is a marionette being marionetted in, because the jerky motions of some of these puppets seem like really, really poor stop-motion animation, which is, it's why do stop motion if you could do CGI, I guess? Or, it seems like a weird...
I like the stop motion's quaint. It's a callback to
a simpler time, but then you have everyone having these happy death day masks. I mean, it just seems like this weird anachronistic kind of movie in terms of the special effects stuff, and it kind of, I don't know, it grates on a kind of lizard brain of my horror movie tastes.
Sure,
but
not to be confused, by the way, with the Pixar Halloween special Toy Story of Terror.
Toy Story of Terror, yeah, that's all I can think
true?
of.
Yeah,
is that a thing?
Yeah,
oh, wow,
that's a real thing. Yeah, I don't know. Dana Gould really sells it for me.
I mean, that absolutely sells it. Why are there there's not one famous person in this cast, as far as I can tell, or am I missing?
I didn't notice anyone.
Yeah, so it's a cast of unknowns. It's the plot is they go to it's sort of like a Krampus kind of movie, and then it's a horror movie that takes place on Christmas or around there. Mm-hmm. It's about kids at
a haunted ex-orphanage, right?
That I guess they got on Airbnb. I don't know.
Yeah.
How you can rent out a whole haunted orphanage.
It's a children's hospital, but yeah.
Sure.
Right. And a mother who went so mad that her child died that she decided to kill a bunch of other kids.
She killed all the rest of the children. It's damn, lady.
They were unable to cope with the death of her child. She killed the rest of them? What?
Yeah. She really rage quit.
That was a real Mr. Voorhees move, huh?
If I can't have any kids, no one will.
Yeah.
And no one did because it was already a child's hospital. So this was already their chances were already diminishing just by the fact that it was a child's hospital. These were not well children. These were not like the children of the rich.
These are not top shelf children.
These are not the Elm Street, children. These were not like the ones that these were already sick kids. That's messed up, lady.
Right. They were basically worthless and you killed them anyway.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Drowning a sack of puppies in the river. No, that part also seemed to be a little weird. I don't know. Are they going for comedy? Is this a Dana Gould?
There weren't any jokes in the trailer.
Nope. No jokes.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is I'm gonna see it.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
I mean, it's already out. We can watch this right now.
I know what I'm doing right after this.
Yeah.
It's actually watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 because I just found out that Dennis Hopper was in it, but after that...
We just watched that.
Fuck yes,
Wait,
he's
really?
in it.
Yeah, Dennis Hopper
he is in it so incredibly hard.
Oh gosh, I'm watching it. I'm watching it.
It's incredible.
That's it. That's
His
only-
role in that film it will change your life.
That's amazing.
Correct.
That's amazing. I'm so glad to hear it. But then after that, I'm gonna go find Toys of Terror.
Toys of Terror, where that movie lives, and watch
wherever
this.
it lives.
Watch this
Wherever-
film.
Gonna go to its house and ring its doorbell and say trick or treat.
Yeah.
Throw some light bulbs at it.
Yeah.
Throw some
freaking
light bulbs.
Get some marbles in there.
Some loose Reese's Pieces.
And I mean, I'm going over to Dana Gold's house and just chucking a bunch of loose Reese's at the door.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to news stories.
Okay.
But first, Dave. But first,
First, we have some patrons to thank.
do it.
Thanks for having Jason Pargett on. Here's $25. Thank you very much. Thank you to the Midnight Patron. What patrons at midnight?
Woo.
Thank you to Exploding Runes.
Woo.
Thank you to Andrew How.
Woo.
Thank you to Vincent the Vampire. Thank you to Rev MD. Thank you very much. Thank you to John Muniz. Thank you. Thank you to Wavy Rancheros.
Yeah.
Thank you to Mr. DNA. And thank you to Lauren Gucci.
All
thank
right.
you very
let
much.
me take the reins here. Thank you to
Yeah.
Bootler Bootlesson. Thanks to Grumblebee.
Boots.
Thank you to Tux.
Tux.
Thanks to Shepherd Mulch Diggums. Thank you to Norm from Cheers. Norm.
Thank you.
Thanks to Davey Francis.
Thank
you to Space McNulty.
Thank
Thank you to Hiram. And thanks to Great, it's that guy.
Thank you.
All right.
You guys have some
All right.
very, very clever Patreons.
Oh yeah, they're the best. They're top notch.
Yeah, they're the cream of the crop. They're the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
Really good people.
Oh man, so James Cameron's still trying to drown. His life goal is to drown a famous actor.
Yes. Yeah, and you know what? There are worse goals out there.
Oh my gosh.
We're of course talking about the Avatar 2 image of Kate Winslet that was released this week of her doing something underwater.
Okay. This is hilarious. Is he really making these movies, or is this a big gag? Because it's her holding a fucking cape underwater, and so the realization is, oh, she's going to be like a Na'vi.
Or something,
which leads me to believe why do you need to be underwater?
Well, to get the CGI right.
Right.
No,
sure.
It's not.
Like she's literally like in a wetsuit. Not a single, like her hair is tied back. She's in like a Jesus position. Nothing about what she's doing. Even if she is swimming, there's nothing in those movements that you can't get, like dangling her from some wires, right? Like it's
Play devil's
why?
advocate for a second. I do think there is different. I mean, things move differently through water than they do through space. But then again, why would they need to be moving through water? Like, this is going to make it look like it's in water, which makes me believe the movie's going to have something to do with, like, water.
Oh, James Cameron said there's going to be a lot of water stuff in this because James Cameron loves water. But I just don't... I think since it's all digital, it's just... I don't know why they're doing this effort. By the way, she learned to hold her breath for over 7 minutes.
That's impossible. I'm pretty sure that's actually physically impossible.
Here's the thing. Tom Cruise also learned this for Mission Impossible, 5 minutes. What they're actually talking about, I believe, is they can do that without moving. The moment you start moving or exerting yourself, that number goes way down, is I believe what it is. There's like diving training with this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you make somebody do that? You know what you could do? Just CGI digitally remove that breathing apparatus. Like, just give her oxygen. Are you
this
kidding
is what
me?
I'm saying is that CGI is... It's just really funny how we use CGI and how it's always the opposite of the way to use it. Is like I've talked about this before. You can see behind the scenes of the Star Wars, the new Star Wars, and the character of Snoke, played by Andy Serkis, had a stand-in, and you can see him on set, and it's just a guy who looks like Snoke, and it's like, well, just use him.
What are we doing?
Like, what are we doing? You had a guy who looked like Snoke stand there so that you could erase him and replace him with a guy who looks exactly like him. Meanwhile, they're like, oh, how do we film underwater? You have to learn how to hold your breath and be underwater. It's like, this is ridiculous. Just make a movie, James Cameron. This is why it's taking so long.
Look, I think that I want to tweak a little bit what you said earlier, Dave. This is not James Cameron's attempt to kill a famous actor. This is specifically him trying to kill Kate Winslet. He's just going back and trying to finish off what Titanic...
Right, he's trying to drown Kate Winslet. That's specific.
Specifically Kate Winslet.
By the way, Sigourney Weaver also learned to hold her breath for 6 minutes.
Yeah, she also fucking said that.
Here's the alternate thing, is I think maybe these are just the actors just want to learn how to hold their breath. And like they're just finding excuses, but it does seem like I wonder if Ed Harris, when he like goes to take a bath, James Cameron bursts out of the water and tries to drown him. He's constantly coming back for him.
He's haunted by James Cameron. Like what lies beneath.
That part of the abyss terrified me as a child. The part where the suit is filling up with that goo. It's supposed to make you breathe, and then you could just watch him like stumble backwards, and then in reality. Wasn't it? Tom, did we figure this out when we were doing an article together? Didn't he almost die from that?
That's kind of what the gag is here when we're saying he's trying to drown his actors. Is Ed Harris almost drowned making that scene, and Jim Cameron kept filming. So after they were done filming that day and gotten out of the tank, Ed Harris punched him in the head, and has never worked with him again.
Oh my god.
Yeah. No, it's he's.
You can't breathe in goo.
It was just water in his suit. So he's in a suit filled with water in a water tank.
That almost killed Tom York.
Jim Cameron did?
No. That scenario of making the video for No Surprises, where he has a fishbowl on his head and it's filling up with water and he's mouthing along the lyrics. Yeah, when it takes, they couldn't get the fishbowl off and he almost drowned. So
Fuck.
Ben Affleck almost suffocated making Armageddon because of the space suit. It almost suffocated him. I have to point this out, and this isn't new news. It's new to me. I didn't realize the reported. You know what the reported budget for the Avatar sequels is?
Total, it's like $2 billion.
It's $1 billion, and that's. I'm so sad, you guys.
Yeah. You get like a vaccine for that.
Yeah. That's more than Avengers Infinity War and Endgame.
We could attack and dethrone God for that much money.
Yeah. There's so much we can do with $1 billion.
Attack
what
and dethrone God is my top picks. Oh god.
Oh
Jesus.
shit.
Yeah.
I mean he's making 3 movies. But still, that's like a budget of $300 million, like over $300 million per movie.
Yeah,
it's too much money.
These movies that no one asked for.
Right. I mean, this point has been made to death, but
I know.
But and like nobody talks about Avatar.
Yeah, it's really like one of those memes where it's like nobody, absolutely no one. James Cameron. All right, twist my arm.
Here's 3 more Avatar sequels over a decade later.
It's the Game of Thrones of movies. I think it's more evidence that Hollywood is run by a giant computer, where because on paper Avatar made almost $3 billion.
Yeah, of course you'd make a sequel.
And so spending $1 billion on 2 more Avatars, it's like, well, geez, we're gonna make $6 billion off of this. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you're so out of touch that you don't know. It's just.
And shouldn't the joke here be now that why is he still continuing production when it's very clear that I don't know, maybe he's playing the really long game, but this isn't gonna go in theaters, not for in the next 2 years. This isn't gonna.
Disney, yeah.
If anything,
Disney,
that's great news for him because. I keep predicting that James Cameron's just going to disappear and all the money will be gone and people will be like, oh shit, he just took all the money and escaped. He just escaped into the ocean and we'll never see him again, and he'll have his own fucking sea quest going on down there.
Yeah, he's just living in a fucking Gungan city below the sea. He builds fucking Rapture down there.
Yeah, but I think for him, it's like any more time, it's great for him because it means.
Yeah, I think Disney has the first one on the schedule for next Christmas, but that might have got pushed.
2022.
It might have got pushed to 2022.
Yeah, like Dr. Fauci's now saying don't expect anything by 2021. It's all gonna be 2022 at the earliest. Not to bum you
Jesus
movie cinema
Christ.
fans out. However. You can rent out those AMC theaters now for $99, and I've done the math on that. That means like you and get 10 people all just socially distanced in a big ass movie theater.
Yeah, you pay $10. No, I've seriously thought about doing that.
Yeah, me too. Tom, you want to bubble in and do this? Like, I feel like we get 6 more people.
Kind of. That might be kind of fun.
Right?
If there's something to watch.
Right? And I'm not sure. Can you bring your own movies? Is this going to be or do you have to?
As a ex-Cinemark employee, it used to be that there was a catch with a lot of renting theaters where you'd rent the theaters and then they'd be like, okay, I assume you have a projector, because you just rent the theater, like the physical room, because a projectionist is a different thing. Now that they've swapped to digital, a lot of these places, I'm guessing it's a little easier, but it you still I would read the fine print.
Okay.
Also, as an ex-Cinemark employee, we used to rent out our private theaters all the time. It was called giving the projectionists some money and having them put on a movie unofficially, which is extremely illegal. But
yes, it is.
Fine.
Yeah, you get sued for that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, I feel like first of all, the question of do you have a projection player? I feel like a lot of people I know do. Like, there's a lot of digital.
I do. Peacock sent me one
no
for
way.
some reason. Yeah, no, they sent the Collider Peacock gift package to me for some reason.
Jeez, wow!
I was like, sweet, I'll take it.
Yeah, take that and just run. That's awesome.
They just fucking Sideshow just sent Steve that $300 or $400 Baby Yoda figure that they made. I am green with jealous rage.
Oh yeah, you could throw that at kids.
Hell yeah,
you could throw that at so many kids.
What's the coolest thing you've gotten for swag so far, Tom?
Probably that projector.
Yeah, that's the coolest thing.
I've gotten some free DVDs. All I have to do is review them, and that's pretty nice.
That's nice. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Dave and I got free copies of The Invisible Man.
Oh, it's with a coloring book.
It was an activity book. It was not just a coloring book. It was a little book full of activities, or it was like solve all these activities to find the Invisible Man. It was like really cool.
Yeah.
Well, first of all,
people listening, send us stuff.
I'm literally coloring in a coloring book right now, so I cannot be more jealous. It's not a lie. I'm coloring in an adult coloring book. They make me feel calm and happy.
Adult, there's pornographic.
No, adult it's a lot of cross hat,
hardcore penetration.
Yeah, this hardcore. It's ass to ass, and it's a picture of a swan. It's got a lot of small little crosshatch, because it's just a lot of compulsive, just wanting to draw in the tiniest spaces available.
Right.
So it's not gonna be fun for kids. It's not like a fun looking picture. It's just a lot of tiny minutia that I like to do. But that being said, that sounds awesome. I love The Invisible Man. I didn't love it, but I loved the movie.
All right, let's move on to other stories. Oscar Isaac, Moon Knight. Tom, what is Moon Knight?
Moon Knight is a superhero in the Marvel Universe. He is a thief that is possessed by a spirit, I believe. That's how he gets his powers. He's kind of he's kind of crazy. He's kind of an interesting character. He's a real kind of C-list hero. But they're trying to push, their other people now that they've finished the first 10 years of Avengers and stuff.
As not a comic book fan, Iron Man was a C-list hero in my mind. Marvel started by showing us that it didn't really matter. Because Marvel's whole thing is they have all the crappy heroes, quote unquote. They don't have the Superman and the Batman.
Yeah.
They have all the ones that I don't think about. And so I remember when Iron Man was coming out being like, I don't know what that is, but it's Robert Downey Jr. And so that's where Marvel prevailed. They're like, here's a bunch of heroes, the public doesn't really give a shit about. And we're gonna put Oscar Isaac in it, and you're gonna give a shit.
Yeah.
Suddenly.
Yeah. Outside of like comic book nerds, it's hard to like remember where I was or like what I was thinking about, like when it's like something like Thor or like Ant-Man,
Right.
or like Aquaman for the longest time. I mean that's DC, but so let's just skip that one. But the running joke about Aquaman was that she was like an entourage joke. But yeah, for the rest of these Ant-Man, Thor, I can't remember like what I thought of those characters.
Right.
And I read comics. It just kind of feels like Ant-Man I thought was like a joke at first, and I thought Paul Rudd, I was like, oh, this is gonna be like their joke one. It kind of was, but like no, they incorporated him. So yeah, Oscar Isaac is sort of a weird choice. I feel for like the Marvel universe. He's very. First of all, he's already been a villain in the X-Men.
He was fucking Apocalypse.
And that wasn't...
He sure
in
was.
a terrible-ass movie.
That was not great.
Yeah, that was a terrible film.
And Oscar Isaac, I really do. I appreciate him as an actor in a lot of roles, but then I also feel like there are a lot of roles where he just is, he's not... He's almost like a cipher. Like he doesn't emote a lot. So...
Yeah. I gotta say, I think the pandemic, whether or not they know it, is very good for Marvel. Because I think after Endgame, they're like, and here's some more, and we're all like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I felt that fatigue with Spider-Man Far From Home.
And they were like, and inadvertently, or you know what, they consulted with China, and they released the virus together, and they were like... They're like, look, if you're sick of our films, how about a year of watching indie shit? And then everybody's like, oh, please, Marvel, come back. Because that's what it is. It's just like, oh, God, I'm watching so many like dramas and stuff. Yeah, I want to see someone huck a car. Yeah. Like, give me hucking a car.
Yeah, give me a WandaVision.
Or light bulbs at children, I guess.
Ideally.
But, yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready to forget the world. To escape into your bullshit, Marvel. Give it back. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Good for them.
I guess if I keep asking, like, is this going to be a movie like they're going to release in theaters? But I guess the expectations are
no. This is a Disney Plus series. Yeah.
This is Disney Plus series. Okay. That's a good way for my brain to conceive of it. Is this a show versus a movie?
Yeah.
Fine, we can do it that way.
I'm glad they're breaking. I'm glad they're accepting the fact that they have to start thinking about Disney Plus.
They've done some major restructuring to focus entirely on Disney Plus, Yeah,
no, I love how, is it Bob Iger? Is that who's in charge of it now? Or, he's like, no, this is going to happen eventually. We're always eventually going to go to streaming and not movie theaters. And I'm like, bullshit. Mm-hmm. Like, that's not where your guys' like 10-year plan
No,
was.
hell no. No. They don't. You don't make $1 billion in box office with a movie on streaming.
Yeah.
No.
Well, they're going to have to figure it out.
With China.
Yeah. Team back up with China.
Yeah. So Bette Midler confirmed a Hocus Pocus sequel that we all kind of knew was going to happen at some point.
Yay! As a woman, I technically have to go. As a woman of a certain age, I have to go, yay! The Anderson sisters or whatever.
This is one of those cases, I think, of the internet just pushing for so long that they're like, I guess we need to make a Hocus Pocus sequel.
Yeah. I rewatched Hocus Pocus recently for a quiz that we were doing, and that movie's pretty good. Like it stands. Like it holds up. It's a pretty fun movie. Like it definitely holds up to the nostalgia thing.
Yeah.
But, like what's the necessity of it? Who's this going to be for? Like a Saved by the Bell sort of question.
Yeah.
Who's asking for this? It's going to be like women in their 30s to 40s now.
Yeah. If they know what's good for them. I don't know. I had an older sister, so I watched Hocus Pocus a lot.
I've only seen it once.
Oh, okay. It's good.
That tracks.
It's a good film.
I mean, I liked it when I saw it. I just never revisited it.
I'm excited for a sequel. It's like hearing about Sister Act 3. It's like it's so low stakes that it's like, fuck yeah, do it.
Yeah, who cares?
You say that, but then I just watched the reboot of the remake of The Witches, and I am sadder for it. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
we might do a We Just Watched on that because we both watched it.
Oh,
yeah,
God,
I think that's a different case though, because The Witches, the original, is so it's like the Willy Wonka thing, but with Hocus Pocus, it's like a sequel isn't going to ruin the original. It's not going to, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck it, pile them on.
I mean, I guess I don't know who directed the original. Was it somebody? Was it a Marshall? It might have been a Marshall, right? Was it
Hocus Pocus?
No, sorry.
Kenny Ortega.
Sorry. Kenny Ortega, that's right. Footloose is Kenny Ortega did it, but Rob Marshall's in it, and Penny Marshall's in it. They're the devil, and the house that they go to where it's like the older couple who one of the guys dressed as the devil and his wife. So is it Rob Marshall and Penny Marshall that are siblings in reality?
No.
Well, I believe so, and they play a husband and wife in that movie, and it's very strange.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of the weirder parts of casting ever done.
Looking up the director, I didn't know they did Newsies.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Also, Hocus Pocus was co-written by Mick Garris.
what is that?
He's a horror guy. He does a lot of. He did The Stand. He did.
No shit.
He did one of the segments on Nightmare Cinema.
Creep Show? Oh, Nightmare Cinema.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I know who that. Okay. I know their work.
Mm-hmm.
So I just say,
cool.
if they bring this back, I just really hope, again, they take Rob and Penny Marshall and make them
Yeah.
like another weird case of like making this actual real life sibling couple a married couple.
Yeah, why not?
Drew, I have some bad news about Penny Marshall.
Is it not Rob Marshall? Is it? What is it?
Penny Marshall died 2 years ago.
Oh, that's absolutely true. Oh my god, I forgot.
Well, that would certainly make it spookier if they
That would
brought
make
them
it
back.
spookier.
Yeah.
I really just wanted to bring up that factoid because it was so disturbing. But I did forget that Penny Marshall has, unfortunately.
It was also
passed.
apparently Gary Marshall.
Gary Marshall.
But they are
Man, my facts here are not
they
right.
were brother and sister. He is also dead.
So
Oh
really
my God.
spooky. Really spooky.
I wish I had never opened my mouth, but on the other hand, I'm very happy that this conversation is happening.
Yeah. Look, we've already covered the Challenger, and I think 9/11 was mentioned.
Oh yeah, that's
so like
par for
we're
the-
hitting all.
Yeah, we're getting all.
We're checking off all the boxes here. Yeah.
Gary and Penny Marshall both dead. Putting that in my notes for next time.
Excellent.
And, okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's name some more producers.
Let's do it.
Thank you to Lef. Thank you very much. Thank you to Nolan Mayton. Thank you. Thank you to Joshua Graves. Thank you very much. Thank you to Normal Man Andrew McGuire. We believe you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to Ozzy. Thank you to AJ. Thank you to Tip Drizzle
Always.
of the Drizzle Empire. Thank you to Frankly Amish. Thank you very much.
Let me take over here. Thank you to Mrs. Voidus.
Thank
you to the ghost of Dave Thomas.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
to Aaron Burr, sir.
Aaron Burr.
Thank you to David Knife Boot.
Knife Boot.
Hinson, MBA, CPA. Thank you to Christopher Robert Sparts, Esquire.
Thank you.
Thanks to Mackenzie Righteous Hand and the Lizard People Chill.
Thank you.
Thanks to Funky J.
Thank you, Funky J.
And thank you to Pie Guy.
Thank you, Pie Guy.
Oh, man.
Oof.
Thank you, Pie Guy.
Yeah.
Oh, Dave.
What?
David.
What?
David.
What?
Do
Tom.
you have a movie that
Yes.
could possibly use some more hype?
Yes. Double yes. I do. I have one of those. Geez. This is so this is going to be a harder to find. It's making the festivals. It's got this year festival films are easier to watch because they have like digital.
They've been doing digital festivals,
showing.
yeah.
And so there's one for this on the 30th,
Which is today, when this podcast releases. Yeah.
and there'll be others. This is called Bleed With Me. If you go to bleedwithmefilm.com, you can figure out how to watch it. This is it's getting great reviews. Not that many reviews, but the reviews that it's gotten so far are a lot of people liking it at various festivals. This is a pretty slow burn, quiet film about a two friends and one of the friends' boyfriend in a snowy Canadian cabin, and one of the friends starts having nightmares that the other friend is drinking her blood, And when she wakes up, she finds slash marks on her arms, and it's a kind of a gaslighty situation where it's like maybe it's her, maybe she's doing it to herself, but we don't know. I'm guessing since it's a horror movie, it'll be, an insidious story, but it just looks really like creepy and weird. And a lot of the reviews are saying it's very creepy. The word Lynchian has been thrown out.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Wow, wow,
I'm not a horse. It's only 79 minutes. So that's interesting. I think it's a get in, get out. But if you watch the trailer, it looks weird and creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Lodge, which is a Rilo Kiley movie, which Rilo Kiley. You know what? I'm just done. You know who I'm
Riley Keough. Riley Keough. You're trying to say Rilo Kiley.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to say something else.
It's a Kylo Ren film.
Band. Yeah, right, you're right. I was trying to do that, Tom. But that movie was exceptional, I think, because at the end of the day, the sort of lack, no spoilers, but sort of the lack of the traditional horror elements. While it was a very scary, creepy movie, the reveal in that was excellent. And this kind of reminds me of that. So, I think you guys, I just listened to your guys' episode of we just watched for She Dies Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think we took away, I took away something a little bit different from that, or I had a different sort of taste for that movie than you guys did, but kind of also felt like this kind of, micro budget indie kind of horror movies, they can go one of two ways. And, I have high hopes for this one.
Yeah, like for example, I didn't care for The Lodge, but I know a lot of people did. Mm-hmm. And so these are all very hit or miss. Personally with me, and when they hit, they hit. And when they miss, they're not that bad. They just
take big swings.
Exactly, and it's one of those things where even if I don't like the movie, I always find people I respect who liked it. Mm-hmm. So it's like they're always fun, and I love micro budget horror because they focus more on horror. They focus more on emotion and atmosphere and
character.
Yeah,
like
and
the character development. Yeah.
Yeah, and they get into like what makes things creepy. And so like the basic concept of someone who's not sure if their friend is drinking their blood at night is like, oh yeah, that's great.
And it must be so awkward. Like, how would you even approach this as an issue in the morning?
Depends on the friend. Depends on the friend. Because we all have a friend that if we found out they were drinking our blood at night, we wouldn't be that surprised.
Right.
Pretty sure that's why I'm not allowed to sleep over at Tom Marina's place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I am that friend.
Yeah.
I am that friend.
Right. I've never seen Tom in direct sunlight.
No.
And so
indeed, no one has.
Yeah. But yeah, check out the trailer at least. Bleed With Me. Go to bleedwithmefilm.com. That's how you can figure out where to watch this if you're interested in it. So do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out right after Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 and then the toy one.
Yeah,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah. No, as soon as you allow Dennis Hopper to change your life.
Yes.
I cannot wait. Can I be honest? I cannot wait. I know this is not Hypecast about Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, but
it can be.
It can be. Look, nothing we can say will prepare you for what Dennis Hopper does in this movie.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So excited.
It is incredible. Well, that's a sode. Oh
that's
man,
that
was a real frothy sode. Thanks, Drew, for being on.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. You guys have I was telling this to Tom the other day, but I've been listening to you guys so much that I literally end just regular conversations these days by saying that's a sode.
That's gotta be weird.
Yeah, that's a little strange.
It is. No one knows what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's rubbed off on our other friends too.
Really? That's good. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I listen to you guys when I cook. I listen to you guys when I clean. I just constantly have on Gamefully Unemployed, and I'm constantly plugging you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Because I love.
Thank you.
I love. It's like my favorite, content production is the Gamefully Unemployed network. So,
yeah. Why don't you plug yourself for a change? Where can people find you? What do you got going on?
Well, Yeah, I'm over at Gamefully Unemployed. No. You can find me over at, I'm at Video Drew at all social media platforms. So that's one word, Video Drew, like Video Drome, but Drew. So you can find me over on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I also have a Patreon of my own. So that's Patreon Video Drew that supports my two platforms, I guess, where I'm over on YouTube, where I do several shows a week. I do on Mondays and Thursdays, I do the Video Chronic Pop Culture Quiz. On Tuesdays, I do a show called Cinema Bias, starting at 8 p.m. PT. And then on Sundays, I have a show called Live in the Dark with Video Drew, which is my kayfabe show that I do sort of in the style of the character I have from the movie Trivia Schmodown.
I've been on that show.
You're on that show. And also, wait, Tom, did you know this? I'm going to be the undercard for the next live match that they're doing November 14th.
I saw that, yeah.
So that's going to be pretty fun. So I'm gearing up for that. You can find me over there. And then also I do a Twitch, I have a Twitch thing. So that's twitch.tv/Video Drew, where I show movies. We do video karaoke on Friday nights, which is super fun. And I'm having a Halloween party tomorrow night starting at 4 p.m.
Oh, dope.
Pacific time. Yeah, so you guys can check that out over at Twitch. My Twitch channel. So I think that covers it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for now. Yeah.
Are you saying tomorrow is in the 30th or tomorrow is in Halloween?
Tomorrow's in Halloween.
Halloween. Okay,
I
right. Yeah. Okay, yeah. This drops on Friday. Yeah. Just wanted to make sure.
Halloween. Mm-hmm.
Dave, why don't you tell them what we got going on?
Yeah, we got a Patreon, patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. You can check us out for exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman and Fox Mulder is a Maniac. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Done.
That's it. That's all you get. We also have a store, tpublic.com/store/gamefullyunemployed, where you can get t-shirts, masks, mugs, stickers, posters, all kinds of stuff. Check it out. We got a bunch of new designs.
Oh yeah, I actually need to put up my Fox Mulder's Maniac poster, which I finally got framed.
Oh,
nice.
Word, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually wearing one of our new designs.
Are you wearing the Mitch?
Jason.
Oh, the Jason one. That's pretty dope. That's
designed
a dope
by Doc Garby with Jason Voorhees.
I love Doc Garby's art.
It's great.
Awesome.
Everybody, check out Doc Garby's art.
Yeah, we got a bunch of his designs in the store now.
Yeah.
Well, Eric, Nerd Chronic, the editor of the Schmodown, who I'm staying with, and who I guess I can start saying I live with because I have moved officially back to LA now. Is constantly wearing the Where's Bane t-shirt.
Oh, perfect.
That I got him. Because it's now become an in-joke between me and several other Schmodown competitors who all came over one night and we all listened to your guys' Batman, the Dark Knight Rises podcast.
Thanks.
So, yeah. It's like I got a couple shirts for people.
Sweet, thank you. All right, well, say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can follow him on Twitter at @thecorlew, CORLEW, and find more music at shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our artwork is produced by Justin Brown. You can follow him on Twitter at @JustinTBrown, and find more of his artwork at artnessbyjustinbrown.com and justinbrown.info.